Pizza time for the first pie on the Ooni Koda 16. This thing heated up really nice. I was just checking the temp on it. It was like like 9:15. I actually turned it down a little bit. That seems a little probably hot for my dough, but it looks really nice. The L flame in there, banking up off the top. You get that convection going on. It looks pretty exciting to me. I gotta keep it OG for the first pie. Going to Marg. Making a Marg for the first pie. I just made a batch of my sourdough, the natty dough. It looks pretty good today. I threw a little 00 in the mix this time just because I was like, I got the new oven. I think that I'd try maybe some more Neapolitan style. Just getting this stretched out, just doing the OG Marg style with the tomato sauce, basil, and it's gonna be fake again today. I don't got the fresh mozz, but high hopes. Topping the first Marg in the Koda 16. I had to go with the Marg. Plain cheese pies are my favorite pies of all time. I feel like this does the proper homage to the pizza art form. Just going as light as I can with the sauce, but making sure there's enough on there so it doesn't bubble up. Then hit it with the basil. I think for this one, I'm gonna keep it super classic, which is the basil on first. It goes in the bake, it gets all nice, you get that aroma and everything going on there. I like to go fatty on the basil and get it with the, oh wow, cheese flying. Get it with the cheese just enough, but not too much. Want to get that flavor of the natty dough. And get this thing loaded up, hit it with some olive oil. Launch this thing. Ready to load this thing, the first pie into the Koda 16. I always load it and then just do one final stretch on the peel. If you got a perforated one, those ones are pretty nice too because you can get some of that excess flour off. All right, get this thing loaded up. All right, let's see how this thing goes. All right, had a little bit of a problem with a massive bubble first launch. I mean, what do you do? But it looks pretty good, this body on there. Get this thing onto the rack and cool for a minute and give this thing a taste. First pie out of the Ooni Koda 16. This thing's looking pretty good. Had a little trouble. I don't know, on the load, something caught. There was a big fatty bubble. This really was the first pie, and they can't always be perfect. That would be a refire, but you know, there's plenty more pizzas to come. I'm loving the leverage on this. Gonna have to dial in the bake on this, but so far so good. Pick it up. Oh, look at all that, nice and juicy. Give this thing a taste. Oh yeah, the dough's tasting super good, and it's definitely more like the Neapolitan style flavor going on there. It keeps the tomato sauce really fresh. The cheese you see doesn't get super brown. It's a different flavor. Keeps things really bright with that basil in there, perfuming. On the sourdough, the natty dough, it's tasting really good. I can't wait to stick another pie in that thing. There's gonna be a lot of pizza going down. Stay healthy, one love. Just polished off that Marg and had a couple more final thoughts on that one. I wish I could have got like maybe a little picture of it. I was just so excited with that, the fresh first pie out of the Koda 16. It baked pretty nice, out of some issues. But wow, the whole crazy thing is all those other pieces I bake them on the steel inside. It's the same dough. I put a little 00 in this one, but I do that sometimes inside as well. But wow, it's like a totally different pizza. It came out super like more Neapolitan style. I mean, no surprise there, but just the actual texture and stuff is super moist and had that little more tender crumb to it. Pretty wild, and that tomato sauce just stayed so bright. So this is gonna be an interesting journey on this new oven. Try some new things up. I'm fired up. Really like this thing, and like maybe even get some bigger pies. So that little room in there, definitely pretty pumped.